Hi everyone, welcome to the class. We're going to start on a seated position on a blanket or a cushion or a towel, just to lift the hips a little bit. Resting the hands down onto the thighs, lift up through the crown of the head, drop the shoulders down. So we're just going to settle in for the first few moments here. Close the eyes and just begin to notice the breath. So we're just breathing in and out through the nose. We're not trying to change the breath or direct it in any way. We are just bringing our attention to it. You might notice that the breath is quite shallow, and in the chest it might be a little lower down into the ribs, or it might be right down in your belly. All of those are fine. And if you find that your mind is wandering, just gently bring it back to the breath. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head. Relaxing the face. So the areas between the eyebrows, the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw, all relaxed. See if you can consciously allow the hips to release a little bit. So you might notice the knees dropping down towards the floor as you release the hips. Let's deepen the breath a little bit now. So breathing in through the nose. Fill the belly and then exhale again through the nose. Inhale into the belly and exhale everything out. Inhale to the belly, exhaling everything out. And just continuing that breath. You might notice that the inhale is shorter than the exhale. Two more rounds of breath just like that. Inhaling to fill the belly and then exhaling everything out. And again. And keeping the eyes closed, just nod the chin gently down towards the chest. Keep lifting up through the spine. Keep the length in the spine. And very gently lifting the chin up towards the ceiling. And then back to center again. Now nodding the ear down towards that right shoulder. And then bringing it back to center. And now down towards the left shoulder. And then back to center. Good. And then just flickering open the eyes. Lovely. We're going to interlace the fingers. Bring the hands out in front. So make sure the shoulders are dropped down here so you're not hunching them up towards the ears. And then turn the palms out. Again, shoulders down. And we're going to lift the hands up above the head. Nice and slow. And just kind of feeling for where the tightness is. You may want to bend the elbows here as they come up. What can happen is if you're a little bit tight in the shoulders, your chest will stick out or your head will drop down. So we're trying to keep everything nice and long while the palms are lifting up towards the ceiling. Allow the shoulder blades to drop down the back. Just breathing here. Good, another breath or two here. And then releasing the arms out nice and wide. Fingertips down towards the floor. Reach those left fingertips up towards the ceiling. That right palm comes down onto the floor, bending that elbow in and reaching over with those left fingertips. Big breath in now to those side ribs. And then coming all the way back up. Left hand goes down, right fingertips up towards the ceiling and left elbow bending. Big breath into those right ribs. Good, and then come all the way back up and bring that hand back down onto the floor. Interlace the fingers behind now. Open the chest. Lift up through the crown of the head. And we're going to fold forward here. And as you fold forward, maybe lifting those arms a little as you go. Nice and slowly. You can come halfway down. You can come all the way down. Maybe the head will reach the floor. Maybe those arms will lift up a little bit higher. See if you can press the hips back down to the floor behind you. Good. Another breath or two here. And slowly, slowly, coming all the way back up. Releasing the arms down. Good. And then bringing the hands in front, just giving the shoulders a little roll here. Going in both directions. Lovely. And then coming onto our hands and knees. So just removing whatever you have underneath you, putting it to the side. And coming onto all fours. So in all fours, what we want to see is the knee and the hip in line with each other here. The knees hip distance apart and the hands shoulder distance apart, but also the shoulders and the wrist creases in line with each other here. Spread the fingers really wide and we're going to just open up the front body now by dropping the belly down, lifting the tailbone and lifting the chin gently. So you're in a cow position and then coming all the way into cat or angry cat position. Good. Inhaling into cow, and then exhaling all the way up. Really press the floor away with those hands. Inhaling, coming all the way through. And exhaling all the way up. Last one, inhaling. And exhaling. And coming back into a neutral position with the spine. So the crown of the head pointing forward. We're going to take the right leg and you're going to lift it up and we're going to bring it over that left leg and press out through that heel. Good. So you're pressing out through the right heel. Getting a nice stretch into the back of the legs here. And bring it all the way back down and then reaching out with that left foot and bringing it all the way over the right. Pressing out through that left heel. Good, and then lifting that leg and bringing it all the way back into that neutral position with the spine on all fours. Brilliant. From here, we're going to take the right leg forward to the top of the mat so that the knee and the ankle are in line with each other. Curl the toes under that left foot and bring the left knee back just a couple of inches so you're not right on the top of the kneecap here. And then we're just going to open the chest up. Getting a lovely opening on the left side here. Good. Pressing the floor away with the right foot. Brilliant. So you've got that right leg really fired up here. And then planting that left hand down and opening up through those right fingertips, looking up towards that right thumb. Good. Another breath or two here. And then that hand comes down and we're going to press the floor away with that front foot and come all the way up. Reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Dropping the shoulders down. Opening the chest. Lovely. Good. See if you can drop the hips down a little bit, but at the same time press the floor away with that front foot so you're not just dumping all the weight into that right side. Good. And then the fingers, the hands come down towards the floor. You're going to take that right leg back and we're going to curl the toes under. We're going to come into down dog. So the hands are shoulder distance apart. Draw the low belly in and press the floor away with the hands. Good. So really spread the fingers on the hands and press down into the palms of the hands. Maybe walking the dog here a little bit. One heel and then another heel down towards the floor. Good. Just let the head go, just nodding yes and no with the head a couple of times. And then let's straighten the legs. So the feet are at least hip distance apart. Pressing the thigh bones back. Pushing the floor away with your hands. Draw the low belly in. Good. If you need to come out of this at any time, just come down onto your knees and come into a child's pose. Maybe resting the head onto the hands just like that. Otherwise, we're still in our down dog. Good. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Brilliant. And we're going to Bring the knees back down onto the floor and coming out of child's pose if you've been in child's pose. We're going to take that left leg forward and lifting that right knee back a little bit. Up onto the fingertips, open the chest. So you're opening up through that right side. Keep pressing the floor away with this left foot here. Brilliant. Try and relax the face. And then planting that right hand down, we're going to open up with that left arm, looking up towards those left thumbs. Good. Keep pressing the floor away with that left foot. Brilliant. One more breath here. And that hand comes all the way down. Press the floor away with the left foot and lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Drop the shoulders down. Open the chest and press the floor away with that front foot. See if you can sink the hips down a little bit now. But keep pressing the floor away with that front foot. Good, and then the hands come back down. We're going to move back into down dog again. Left leg comes back, hands shoulder distance apart. Really spread the fingers really wide here. Curl the toes under and then lifting those hips back. And again, a little walking with those heels. And then straightening the legs, pressing out through the thigh bones at the back, lifting the hips, the sit bones up towards the ceiling, the shoulder blades moving down the back. Just let the head hang here between the arms. Good. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Brilliant. And then coming all the way back down onto the knees. And we're going to lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. So just tucking the elbows in, shoulders back, draw the low belly in, come all the way down towards the floor. Good. So let's bring the hands just underneath the shoulders here, draw the elbows in, and then see if you can roll the shoulders back so that the shoulder blades move down the back. And as you do that, you'll feel, I'll do it again here, you'll feel the chest lift. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, draw the low belly in, and then looking up for low cobra here. Good. And then lowering all the way down. We're going to move the hands back a little bit here so it's in line with your chest. Draw the elbows in again. Rolling those shoulders so you can feel the shoulder blades moving down the back, and then lifting the chest. Draw the low belly in, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Good. And then lowering down. Let's connect that to the breath a little bit. So inhale, lifting, and then exhale to lower down. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, lifting the chest, shoulder blades down the back. And then exhale, lowering all the way down. Good. Tuck those elbows right in towards the body. Press the floor away and come all the way back into child's pose. Let's take an extended child's pose. So we have the knees out towards the edge of the mat, so you've got all the space in front of you, and then you can walk, move the elbows down towards the floor. Maybe stay like this. Maybe you feel like you might have a little bit more space to bring the head down towards the floor. And we're just going to focus here on releasing our hips a little. So as you exhale, see if you can release some tension. Good, a couple more breaths here. Maybe lifting the wrists up from the floor. Good, and then rolling, starting to slowly walk the hands back towards the body, nice and slow. And then bringing the knees together, just sitting onto the feet here, dropping the hands down onto the thighs, shoulders down, closing the eyes for a moment here. Just connecting with the breath. Lovely. And then coming on to all fours again. Good. And from here, we're going to come to standing at the back of our mat. So you're just going to lift up into a down dog for a moment. Take a breath there. And then bending the knees, I want you to walk the hands back towards the feet. Big, big, big bend in the knees here. Good. Feet are hip distance apart. Just let the head hang down for a moment. Release the arms. Just make sure there's no tension there in the neck. And then slowly, slowly, we're just going to press the floor away with our feet. Keep the head hanging down and the arms hanging down. And then rolling slowly all the way back up. So that the head, the neck and the shoulders are the last thing to sort of slot into place. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to roll down through the spine again, and we're going to panther out into a plank from there. So nod the chin towards the chest. The head, the neck and the shoulders are nice and loose. Bend into those knees. Good. Slowly, slowly. Fingertips down towards the floor, and then we're going to walk the hands out to the top of the mat. 1, 2, 3. So we're in a plank position here. You're pushing out through the heels. The crown of the head is reaching forward. Draw the low belly in and push up between the shoulder blades here. Good. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Another breath or two here. Good. Bring the knees down onto the floor and take that right foot forward. Brilliant. Come all the way up with those fingertips and then press the floor away if you want to. You can stay with the knees down on the floor. Otherwise, you're going to see if you can press the floor away and lift that back knee up off the floor. Good. Drop the shoulders down. Opening the chest. See if you can drop the hips down a little bit, but at the same time, keep that right leg really active and keep pressing out through that left heel. Good, another breath here. And then you're going to take the hands down either side of the feet and get that right leg back. Good. So you're back in a plank position here. Just holding for a breath or two. If you need to take the knees down onto the floor, by all means do that. Good. And then slowly we're going to come back into that standing position. So I want you to bend the knees and slowly walk back with those hands. Good. Let the head go, let the arms go. Keep a little bend in those knees. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to start to roll all the way back up to a standing position. Good. The head, the neck and the shoulders are the last thing to slot into place. Lovely. Okay, we've got to do that other side now. So, nodding the chin towards the chest. Take a big inhale. And then exhaling, slowly rolling down the head, the arms, all kind of hanging free, bending the knees, getting the fingertips down to the floor, and then you start to panther out into that plank position, holding it here for a couple of breaths. And again, the option to bring the knees down to the floor is there. Push out through the heels, reach out through the crown of the head, draw the low belly in. Good. And then the knees come down to the floor. We take that left leg to the top of the mat. Good. That's it. And then you're going to press the floor away, come all the way up, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then see if you can lift that back knee up off the floor, pressing out through that. Did I say left? I meant right. So you're lifting the right knee off the floor and you're pressing out through the right heel. Drop the shoulder blades down. Good. Draw the low belly in. Brilliant. And then the hands come back down onto the mat. Step back into your plank. Hold it here for a breath. Bend the knees and slowly walking the hands back towards the feet. Let the head go, let the arms go. Press the floor away with the feet and slowly start to roll all the way back up to that standing position. Brilliant. Let's just take the hands in front of the heart. Drop the shoulders down, close the eyes. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Good, and then release the hands, open the eyes, very good. So we're just going to work into a little bit of a balancing pose here with tree. So again, starting with lifting up through the crown of the head and rooting down through the feet. We're going to press into the floor with that right foot and lift that left leg a little bit here. So you can start with the heel onto the ankle if you're sort of new to this or the balance is a bit off. Maybe lifting the foot up to the calf muscle here, or maybe if you want to go a little bit further, you just take that heel and bring it right up to the top of the thigh. And you're bringing the hands in front of the heart. Good. So you're trying to press that left leg back, opening the hips. Good. Another breath or two here. And then releasing the hands, releasing the leg, just shake it out. I'm going to move to that other side. So pressing the floor away with that left foot, really firing up the leg, and then taking the heel to wherever you want it to go. So the hands in front of the heart, dropping the shoulders down, lifting up through the crown of the head. Another breath or two here. Good. Releasing the hands, releasing the legs, just shake it out a little bit here. Good. Let's take the legs nice and wide. Okay, the toes are pointing forward. That's it. And we're just going to bring the hands onto the hips here to start. So we're opening the chest. We're going to come into a forward fold here. If you need something for underneath the hands as we get down, maybe grabbing that blanket or some books or something for the hands as we come down towards the floor. Just opening the chest, elbows back. Good. Draw the low belly in, and then I want you to think about moving from the hips, from the pelvis, so that you're not just kind of bending forward from the back. Good. That's it. Drawing the kneecaps up. lifting up from the inner arches of the feet. So pressing into the outer edges of the feet here. Good, coming all the way, nice straight back. And then the hands come down onto the floor. So the hands are shoulder distance apart. Good, keep the length in the spine here. Draw the kneecaps up in the leg or legs. Good, you're going to bend into that right knee now here just a little bit. So bending, bending, bending into that right knee and just feeling that stretch on the inner thigh of that left leg. Shoulders back. Good, holding here for another breath or two. And then coming back into center. And then same on that left side. Lovely, and then coming all the way back into center. Let's bring that right hand underneath our noses on the floor, and we're going to open up with that left arm. So keeping the length in the spine here, opening up with that left arm, shoulders away from the ears. Good, and then sweeping that hand back down and bringing it into the center, and then opening up with that right side. Keep lifting the kneecaps on the legs, so you keep getting the length into the back of the legs here. Good, and that hand comes down, brilliant. And then from here, either remaining here and kind of sticking with this, if this feels like it's enough of a stretch, or you can start to walk the hands back in a little. And let the head hang down, the elbows pointing back. Good. Another breath or two here. And we're going to walk those hands back out underneath our shoulders. Good. Come up onto the fingertips. And then heel toe the feet in a couple of times here. Brilliant. And bring the hands onto the hips. Draw the lower belly in and really firing up the legs, pressing the floor away and coming all the way back up to standing. Lovely. And then just taking those feet in. Good. And giving the legs a little bit of a shake out here. Brilliant. From here, we're going to come to the top of the mat. That's it. Okay, so the feet are hip distance apart here. The fingertips down towards the floor. And we're going to roll down through the body from this end of the mat. So inhale at the top, exhale, nodding the chin towards the chest, little bend in the knees, rolling all the way down through the spine. Fingertips reach the floor. You're going to step back with that left foot here. Good. And bring that left knee down to the floor. Press the floor away. Lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. And then bring the hands down to the floor. Bring that right leg back and come into a plank position here. Good. Pressing the floor away with the hands. And then coming into your downward facing dog. Good work. Brilliant. And then we're going to come down onto our knees. You're going to take the left leg forward. You're going to press the floor away and lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. Hands come down to the floor. We're going to bring that right leg to the top of the mat. And let the head hang down. And then just rolling slowly up through the spine. Nice bend in the knees. Big inhale and then exhale as you reach the top. Good. We're going to go again. Nodding the chin towards the chest. Rolling all the way down through the spine. Good. This time you're going to step back with that right foot. Bring that right knee down to the floor. Lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands down onto the floor. Step back into plank. Good. And then press all the way back up into your downward facing dog. Just taking a few breaths here. Good, the knees come down and then you're bringing that right foot to the top of the mat. Lifting the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good, and then bringing the hands back down to the floor. You're going to take that left leg to meet the right at the top of the mat. And then just let everything hang down there and then slowly pressing the floor away and rolling all the way back up to a standing. We're going to do that once more. Good. Rolling all the way down through the spine. Fingertips reaching the floor, this time stepping back with the right foot. Back knee comes down. You're reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. We're in a crescent lunge. Good. The hands come down. Move back into plank. Brilliant. From plank, we're moving back up into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Lovely. Bringing the knees back down onto the floor, coming forward with that right foot. Reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep the breath flowing here. The hands come down towards the floor. You take that left leg up towards the top of the mat to meet the right leg. Let everything hanging down and then rolling all the way back up. Head, the neck and the shoulders slot back into place. And again, rolling all the way down through the spine. Inhaling as you go down. Exhaling as you reach the floor. Good. Stepping back with that left foot this time. That back knee comes down. Reaching up towards the ceiling. Brilliant. The hands come down. We step back into our plank position here. Good. And then into your downward facing dog. Brilliant. The knees come down to the floor. You take your left leg forward. Reach up to the ceiling with those fingertips. Good. The hands come down. That right foot now up to meet the left. Good. And rolling all the way back up through the spine. Nice and slow. The head, the neck and the shoulders slot back into place. Good. Let's just take the hands to the heart here. Closing the eyes, lift up to the crown of the head. Connecting with the breath again. Good. We're going to release the hands down towards the floor. Again, just rolling down through the spine now. One last time. Come down to reach the floor with the hands. Step back with the right leg. Step back with the left leg. Come into your downward dog. And then bring the knees down onto the floor. Let's just sit back into child's pose. Resting the head onto the hands. And slowly, rolling all the way up. Again, let's just take a moment here while we're sitting on our feet, resting the hands down onto the thighs, drop the shoulders down, close the eyes. Connecting with the breath. Good, and then opening the eyes and just finding the floor with your bum. Bringing those legs out in front. Good. So just holding onto the back of the thighs near here now, and then rolling yourself all the way down to the floor. Good. Let's just check in with the shoulders now. So really consciously moving the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Walk the heels in a little bit towards your bum. So maybe you can reach down and graze the tips of the fingers off the heels here. Good. Okay. The palms then are down on the floor. We're going to lift up into a bridge pose here. So the feet and the knees are hip distance apart. Draw the low belly in and then just pick the hips up and lift them until the knees, the hips and the ribs and the shoulders really are in one straight line. Let's roll the chin towards the right side. Bring it back to center and roll it to the left. So there should be no tension in the neck. Good. Keep pressing the floor away with the feet. Brilliant. So we're really switching on the legs and all the big glute muscles. Draw the low belly in. Good. And then very slowly just rolling down through each vertebrae until we're back down on the floor and the hips are in a neutral position. Good. Okay, we're going to do that again. So the option here is to do the same thing that we just did, or you can come a little bit further. So palms of the hands pressing down onto the floor. Crown of the head is long. Pressing the floor with the feet, draw the low belly in and lifting the hips up here. Good. So we're staying here, or if you want to go a little bit further, we're going to roll one shoulder under and the other shoulder under and interlace the fingers behind, and then picking the hips up a little bit more and allowing the chest to drop down towards the chin and not the other way around. So the back of the neck is long. Good. Keeping those knees at hip distance apart. You got to really press the floor away with those feet. Imagine you're squeezing something between your knees. Good. Another breath or two here. And then to release, just release the fingers, release the shoulders, and then slowly, slowly rolling all the way back down onto the floor. Good. And then just hugging the knees in over your belly here. Good. Maybe just rolling from side to side, backwards and forwards. Brilliant. And then you're going to release the feet down towards the floor. We're going to thread the needle here with our legs. So you can take your right foot and bring the ankle just to below that left knee. And again, just make sure the shoulders are away from the ears, lifting that left foot up. See if you can interlace the fingers, bring them behind the leg, and then you're pressing the right knee away with the right elbow. Those left toes up towards the ceiling. See if you can roll the tailbone down towards the floor. You kind of extend the stretch into that right hip and thigh. and then releasing the hands, bring that left foot down onto the floor and release the right leg. Good, and then the same on that other side. So that left ankle comes to just below the right knee. You're lifting the right knee, interlacing the fingers, pressing that left elbow into the leg gently, rolling the tailbone down towards the floor. And again, those right toes up towards the ceiling. Lifting that right leg. So it's not just hanging down. Another breath or two here. Really trying to get that tailbone down towards the floor. And that will really extend that stretch for you. Good. Then releasing the hands, releasing both feet. Brilliant. Just take a moment in the middle here. Take a breath into the belly. And then out through the mouth. Good. We're going to take the feet together and the knees together. And we're going to come into a little twist here on the floor. So you're going to take the hands out in line with the shoulders or just a little bit below, and then dropping the knees down to the right side. Good. And then maybe looking over those left fingertips if it feels okay in the neck to do that. A really nice thing to do to release those shoulders, especially on the left side now, is to sweep the arm around in a big circle. So just moving the hand in towards the body first of all, and then a big circle all the way back around. Another breath or two here. And then taking the knees back to center, head back to center. Good. Just take a moment here, and then bringing those knees down to the other side and looking out over those right fingertips, and then sweeping that right arm around in a big circle. Good. And bringing everything back to center, nice and slow. Brilliant. Okay, from here we're going to work into happy baby. So bringing the hands back down, bringing the right leg and lifting the foot up, and then the left leg and lifting that foot up, and then reaching in to the inner part of the feet here with the hands if you can, or even to the outside. If you can't get anywhere near there, it's totally fine just to hold on to the legs somewhere. And hold them there. Drop the shoulders down towards the floor, and you're trying to bring those knees, inch them down towards the floor a little bit here. Maybe rolling on that low back a couple of times. Just playing around with it here. See about rolling the tailbone down towards the floor. And if you feel like your whole body's sort of lifting up off the floor just to get the hands there, then really do just drop them down. Maybe relax the elbows down onto the floor so that your chest is open and the ribs are down. Another breath here. And then releasing the feet back down to the floor. Just take a moment here. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together now and the knees out towards the sides. You can rest your hands onto the inner thighs here. And just closing the eyes now. Connecting back with the breath. Taking the hands to the outside of the thighs and just bringing those knees together. Good. And then just hugging the knees in over the belly. And rolling from side to side, backwards and forwards. Good. Bringing the hands down on the feet down onto the floor rather. And we're getting ready now for Shavasana, or resting pose. Grabbing your socks if you want to put some socks on, maybe getting your cushion or your blanket under your head. Maybe you want to get your blanket and just cover yourself up. What I like to do is roll my blanket like this and just put it under my knees so that when I lengthen my legs away, it feels quite nice. So I'm rolling my feet out now, allowing the legs to completely rest. Let's bring the hands down onto the floor with the palms facing up. Again, shoulders away from the ears. I'm really just taking the next couple of moments to get yourself really comfortable. So making whatever adjustments you need to. Then we're just going to close the eyes. And just letting the practice go, letting the class go now. Releasing the jaw, allowing the tongue to float to the top or the roof of the mouth. Maybe parting the lips a little bit. Allowing the area between the eyebrows to relax. The forehead, the cheeks. Just becoming aware of all the points of the body that are in contact with the ground beneath you. And just letting those get very heavy. let the front body melt into the back body. Then just allow the back body to melt away. And let the front part of your brain, the thinking and the planning part, just to melt back. So slowly, gently, bringing your awareness back to the room. Back to your mat, your body, and to your breath. Bring a little bit of movement into the fingers, into your toes. Maybe stretching the feet away. Reaching behind with the arms. A big full body stretch. Then slowly in your own time, we're going to walk the feet in and bring them over your belly. Just rocking from side to side. And if you want to, just keep the eyes closed for as long as possible here. We're going to roll onto our right sides now. So bringing the feet down onto the floor. Coming over onto your right side. So you're just resting your head onto your hands. And just taking this last little moment to yourself before you've got to see other people or talk or do other things. Just taking this moment for yourself. And then slowly we're going to come back up to a seated position, so very gently be flickering open the eyes just a little. And coming back to a comfortable seated position. Maybe you want to grab your towels or blankets. Just resting the hands down onto the thighs. And just checking back in with the breath. Noticing the quality of the breath now compared to the start of the class. And then just gently opening the eyes. And if you want to bring your hands up into your heart. Thank you so much for coming to practice today. Namaste. See you soon, hopefully.